You to bear with me for one moment here while I set up the hosting for my own channel, so that way people over at the Outside In can slash those stimulus TV. Alright, I got the hosting set up here. Now I'm going to just double check that everything is running smoothly. Let me head over to Stimulus TV's channel, see if it looks good. Alright. I am live, but I needed my... Okay. Please change my... Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just getting everything set up. We're a few minutes early here. I am just making sure that everything's set up with the right title and everything like that. So just give me a moment, guys, over at Stimulus. I'll be here with you for a few hours, and we're not... It's my title. Same as always. Either werner. Also, this is slightly off center, and I need to just fix it because I'm a little OCD about that. Alright, there we go, team. There we go, team. Let me see what we've got going on here. Just want to make sure technologically that we are doing okay. Alright, how's it? Everybody hear me alright? Everybody doing alright? Cool. I can see the chat as well now, so we are doing well. We are being hosted by my own Twitch channel, so I'm grateful for that. And that way, hopefully, the outsiders who usually swing by whenever I go live there will swing by here. And without further ado, let's jump into the stream, guys. Ho, outsiders, welcome back to the Outside In over here with Stimulus TV. It's your favorite tavern keeper, Warner here, and today we're gonna have an absolutely stunning, beautiful, amazing, incredible, awesome, iconic, legendary stream. And the reason why is that we're doing it for charity, we're doing it for fun, we're doing things that we love for a good cause. And so, yeah, 1 second. This camera is a little too zoomed, I feel like. Every time I move forward, let me see how it looks. Sorry, guys, their camera angle, the settings are all a little bit different when I stream for Stimulus. And so when things change, I always just need to take a second. That's why I logged on a few minutes early today, chat. So we're hanging out. We're doing fine. There's absolutely no technical issues that cannot be solved very quickly, very easily. And let me see if my title is updated, because I'm not going to really start the stream until my title has been updated. Do so now, please. Let me just message them and let them know that I want to do them to update the title before I really... Can you update it now? Because I don't have admin access. I'm just streaming live to their platform and hosting from my own channel. So can you update it now, please? Change game to World of Warcraft as well. World of Warcraft as well. Alright, here we go. While they're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing our own form of charity, right? So as someone who's like an experienced player, who's been playing for many, many years, and who is extremely geared, you know, I'm a Mythic Raider, I have 2K IO, I'm very experienced in Mythic Plus especially. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be just joining random keys that are like +5 and lower, things that I could actually solo as a Blood Death Knight. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be like stomping those keys and having a really good time smurfing on these guys. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead. What we're gonna do is we're gonna join this group finder, right? And we're going to just be finding some like low key. We're gonna look like +2 maybe, and +2 shrine. I'm looking for something like a little more fun than Shrine of the Storm, you know? Siege, man, Motherload. Yeah, I could do this. Motherload looks good, guys. Motherload looks good. SP, what's good, fam? I'm saying hi to everybody in my group. What's good, fam? I'm way too geared for this, but live on Twitch for a charity stream now. Twitch.tv. I'm just trying to funnel the people in game over to the We'll stomp this thing for a charity. Also, I'm boozing, so grab a drink. I can solo it, so no stress. Alright. They're trying to summon me. I just want to make sure that my talents are all set up for Mythic Plus. Grip of the Dead, Bone Storm, Heartbreaker. This looks pretty good for the optimal soloing situation. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Guys, I do encourage everybody here to pour yourself a drink. We're hanging out. We're having a low-key stream here today. And you'll find here at the Outside In that we almost exclusively listen to epic soundtracks from movies and TVs and video games, things with a fantasy sort of element. I'm having trouble with this camera zoom. Let me see if I can zoom out on the camera here. Give me one moment. Configure video. Camera control. Nope, that's the opposite. What if I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the camera. Whenever I move forward, I feel like I'm too big. What do you guys think? Is it alright? You let me know. Yeah, it looks fine. Alright, here we go. Sure. Just hop in stream to support the charity if you don't mind. Hop in stream to support the charity if you don't mind. TY fam. Alright, these guys are hopping in, so that's gonna be super fun. And yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and start stopping this key. So, for those of you who are new here to Stimulus TV or The Outside In, my name is E.I. Werner. I am a fantasy fiction author. I recently completed my debut fantasy fiction novel, and I got an agent, and then I started heading. Give me one second. Reaching out to agents and trying to get the book published. So I just started reaching out to agents the other week, and it's going really well so far. So far, a lot of them have requested to read the manuscript, so I'm just doing a massive pull, and I need to focus up here. I need people to interrupt. Yeah, we're just soloing the entire thing. Yeah, so we're just going to pull absolutely mondo. We're trying to have fun here, too, you know. We're drinking, we're trying to have a little bit of fun, we're trying to relax, and yeah, we'll be here for a few hours, so buckle up, enjoy. It's going to be super fun, guys. I'm having a blast already. Here, I've got a new group of people that we met. I asked them to swing by, so if you're in here in the group, thank you guys for swinging by. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you swinging by to support the charity stream. Again, this is not my own stream. I'm doing this for Stimulus TV. You can find my stream at twitch.tv/theoutsidin, but for the next few hours, we are just chilling out here, helping people in lower tier Mythic Plus. And today I wanted to talk about a few things. I wanted to talk about my writing, first and foremost. I want to let the people over at, so Stimulus TV has a lot of epic content. They've got a lot of people doing super cool shit, like yoga, meditations, interesting cooking classes. They kind of have a whole range of things. Even though they're on Twitch, they don't have quite as many gaming streams as you would expect. Yeah, so I wanted to bring in talk about a little bit about my writing, the writing that I do, why I do it, how I do it, and my process. So I'm a fantasy fiction author, right? So I write books with like dragons, magic stuff. I don't actually have magic, dragons or fireballs or anything like that in mind. It's actually a much subtler magic system, but that kind of vibe. And it differs from science fantasy, which is all the diverse content on Stimulus. Yes, JB, 100%. Yeah, it's really cool. And I'm glad to be one of the video game streamers. Because obviously I love video games. They're probably the biggest passion in my life, aside from writing and books. Wait, no magic? What does subtle mean? Okay, so I'll explain a little bit. So the idea of the magic is that, like, it's one of those things, like, you know how, let me explain. Okay, so I think it's subtle in the sense that it is somewhat more believable in the sense of it obeys certain laws of physics and things like that, but also in the sense that it's not as in your face. It doesn't affect every single thing of every single moment of every single day. I would compare it like, let's say you consider in our world, like, you know, cell phones, like, right? That's like something that is something that I consider to be almost magical, right? But it doesn't interact with us all the time, nonstop in every single moment of our lives. Whereas in Harry Potter, magic is part of every single scene, pretty much. Quidditch, you know, all the major things happen around magic. Whereas mine, it's much more character-driven. It's not a lot less about who is, you know, it's a lot less about what magic they're doing and a lot more about who's doing the magic, right? I'll give a brief explanation of kind of what the magic system is like. It's called this thing called mastery with a capital M. And essentially what happens is that over time, as you get to really, 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 really understand something, you start to really have a mastery over it. There's a sharing of matter and energy between them, right? Because we're all made of the same stuff. We're all made of heat and dust. We're made of proteins and calciums, whatever, you know. We're just, you know, matter and energy, right? We're all made of the same basic components. And mastery is a blurring of the lines that separate those things. And I'll give a few examples, right? So let's say you're in our world, right? And you're LeBron James, right? And you're like totally obsessed with basketball. Basketball's been your biggest passion. You understand the feel of a basketball in your hands, like, you know, in a way so few people do, right? This basketball has made your dreams come true. It has served you, and in my world, what would happen is that over time, your relationship with that basketball would end up taking on a little bit of a different meaning. It would start to feel so comfortable to you in a way that's a little bit more extreme than our world. Your abilities to maneuver it, you know, with crazy half-court shots and things like that, would be way more than now. So let's give another example. Let's say you are a farmer, right? And for so many years, you have been growing these crops, and they've been feeding your family, right? The wheat that you have grown is the things that have fortified your daughter's bones, you know? And so in this world, because the sharing of matter of energy happens, this idea of mastery, ultimately you would the person, the farmer wouldn't need to feel the soil to know if his plants are thirsty, right? Because they just kind of understand him. He understands them, and they understand him. And another example, let's say you are a swordsman, right? Let's talk about items, right? Because that's a really important part. So items that share mastery with humans are called ingots, right? So have you guys ever held something really precious in your hands? Something that feels heavier than something that feels heavier because of how much it means to someone, right? Like a wedding ring or an old family heirloom, something like that. Right? Obviously, those items are different than the everyday items that just exist in our house. They're imbued with some sort of energy, some sort of power. There's a sharing that has taken place, right? And that sharing is what we call mastery. And an item that shares with that is called an ingot, right? And so, let's say you are a swordsman, and your dad was like the most famous swordsman in the fucking world, right? And he slaughtered 40 enemies and saved his husband. My book is very queer, by the way. He saved his husband. From certain death, right? So that sword, when his son picks it up and starts to learn it and starts to train with it, he can tap into things that other people, that his father used to feel and do, and it's different than like memories, like seeing something with perfect understanding, but it has a sort of wisdom, it has a sort of experience, it has a sort of understanding of the lives that has taken, that sword has taken. And so that's what I say when I mean subtle, right? So there's no fireballs, magic, waving wands, none of that. And I'm not saying that any of that's bad. Remember that this is the biggest passion of my life is fantasy fiction and creating worlds and the ways that these people write. But for me, what I really wanted to focus on was who was doing the magic, not what magic they were doing. And I wanted to build a world that was extremely accessible in the sense of, like, my book, all the chapters are around 2 pages. You know, I don't spend hours and hours exploring every single side family and every single little thing like that, because on one hand, I think it's the coolest thing ever when people do it. But it just wasn't what mattered for me. What mattered for me in my books is something extremely specific, right? So what I wanted to explore was this idea of, like, what is a fantasy world like when you are not the hero, right? So let's say we all live in a world where sup, man? Sinbad Divine says, what's good, brother? So good to have you back. I appreciate you swinging by the outside end in Stimulus TV. We so appreciate your sub from last week. Remember, I haven't forgotten, and it's good to have you back. Right now, what we've been talking about is my book, and we were talking earlier before where I'm at in the process, but right now we're talking about my reason for writing it, why I wrote it, and kind of the goal for it. First off, the book kind of summoned me, these ideas. I wanted to write this exact specific book since I was very young, since I was a sophomore in high school. This has been my dream. Finally finished it, feeling really proud about that. But what I was really trying to explore was, like I've always identified with these hero characters, the person like the reluctant hero who is bestowed with powers and things like that. But I always wondered, like, what would it be like to live in one of these worlds? Is it one book or a series? 50/50 Max says it's a trilogy. I was always wondering, what would it be like to live in this world if we're not the hero, right? Because we all live in a world full of heroes, right? So your hero could be Barack Obama, could be Derek Jeter, it could be David Beckham. I don't know. I guess I'm just naming handsome athletes at this point, but you know what I'm saying. But the thing is that we're not them, right? We live in this world, and we readers of fantasy fiction, 98% of us, we live in a world full of heroes, but we're not them. And I always kind of wondered what it'd be like to live in a fantasy world that was literally on the brink of destruction, that had a... Sora says Shire wide peep. Yeah, 100%. Love it, brother. I'm glad you're liking the music. The people in my group are saying you've inspired me to watch Lord of the Rings tonight, Jay Beanie. I love that. I don't know if you actually caught my most recent YouTube video, Jay Beanie, but I just started posting on YouTube, just for fun. And my most recent video is about my favorite Lord of the Rings fonts. It's about my opinion is that fonts help words tell stories. And so I got a new follower here. 1 second, let me see if I can see ZR Coleman's following at Stimulus TV. Thank you so much, ZR Coleman. I appreciate you swinging by to help Stimulus TV. Our alerts are going to be a little bit screwed up. Usually that should pop up on the screen. I'm not sure if it did pop up on the screen for you because I am still figuring out some of the alert issues when streaming for Stimulus TV. But I appreciate you following. It's an amazing cause and an amazing platform that these guys have built, and I really appreciate the support, ZRC. And so yeah, so in my book, could not agree more on fonts. Stimulus TV says I used to have all the fonts in high school. Yeah, and there are new fonts still coming out, and I'm fully obsessed with these Lord of the Rings fonts and the stories that they tell. Some of them, especially. So I'll give you a quick spoiler about the video. What I talk about is my favorite font in the video. I kind of rank them, and I say that my number one favorite font is called Bilbo Hand. It's the font that Bilbo writes in the movies, and for me, that font literally sends chills down my spine. Even just talking about it right now, I feel like I just got a little bit of chills. Because remember that Bilbo Baggins is the one who wrote The Hobbit, right? So he's the one who wrote the original book that set this entire thing up. He's the one, The Hobbit was released in 1932, and it became the first ever really popular fantasy book. And it paved the way for authors like me because it proved to publishers that readers were ready to, go to these fantasy worlds and read these things. And so when I see that font, I literally get the most chills ever because it just makes me think of him saying, there and back again, A Hobbit's Tale by Bilbo Baggins, Are there more than one font? I just remember the one at the beginning of the movie titles, and he does that dreamy handwriting. The whole series really does. Yeah, so Tolkien loved fonts, right? So Tolkien actually invented languages. That was like a big thing that he did. But he also designed their typefaces. He was an illustrator. And so, and I would say that there's not just one font. There's multiple fonts. So the font that you're going to see in the end credits, which is discussed, is called Anaron, right? It's what I refer to as the font of men. This is booze, by the way. This is a nice little cocktail. We're just relaxing here at the end. I always try to have a drink or two when streaming here because the outside in isn't a library after all. But yeah, Anaron is the font used primarily. We got a new follower here. Wait for it. Slothlos. Appreciate you swinging by the outside in and supporting Stimulus TV. Really do appreciate it. Right now, those notifications, those alerts are really big, and I do apologize for that, guys. I'm still figuring out the alert port over, so those are my alerts, not the Stimulus TV alerts, and I haven't optimized their size yet because I just ported them in today, so sorry about that, but I really do appreciate the follow. This is a great cause. Ubuntu, he was an illustrator, yeah, so let me, Ubuntu, do you mind doing me a huge favor? If you go ahead and look at the original Hobbit cover on Google, just Google original Hobbit cover. So Tolkien, when he got, and you can even post it in here. I'm not sure if Nightbot is going to freak out because you posted a link. I'm not sure on Stimulus if you're allowed to post links on Stimulus TV, but we could try. So what happened is that Tolkien was about to have The Hobbit published, right? And nobody ever thought it was going to be a big deal or anything like that. Like nobody thought that this like niche, like they call it, considered like a fairy tale, folk tale that he wrote for his children before they went to sleep. Nobody thought that was going to actually work, but he saw the original drawing and he hated the cover. And what he did was he actually drew the original cover, and it's honestly the most iconic, beautiful thing I've ever seen. But back to the font situation. I think you should watch the video for my more specific feedback. But at the same time, I can tell you, there's also the Ringberry font, right? The Ringberry font is the font that you can see in the on all the Lord of the Rings movie posters. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, here you go, fans. Yo, I'm gonna actually pull that up here. Let me see. Let me wait for it to load, and then I'll pull it up. So we can look at... Alright, if you could get a bigger picture, just the image for me. I'm sorry, brother. I know I'm being a little bit particular here, but if you get just a bigger picture that's just a picture, that way I can show it on stream. That's the one I thought you meant, the movie poster font. No, so that's called Ringbearer, and it's actually not one of my favorite fonts. There's another one called Anaron, which is used in the... Anaron is used in the end titles to like describe like Peter Jackson, director, you know, whatever, Orlando Bloom, Legolas, etc. But there's also Elvish fonts. There are Shire fonts. There are fonts that show up on the maps of Middle-earth, etc. And yeah, it's fucking epic, honestly. Tolkien is just such a goddamn genius to the extent to which so is so insane. And what I love about it is how surprised he was about his own success. So when you mean EI? Yeah, this is it. Okay, guys. I know we're in the middle of a poll, but I'm unkillable. Guys, look at this. Oh my god. Like, he drew this. He denied the other font. He did extra work to make sure that he could get this as the cover, and I just think it's the most remember that this is the foundational myth of fantasy fiction as we know it. You know, fantasy fiction as we know it is 100% Tolkien based. You know, the rolling green hills, the medieval countryside, that sort of stuff. Like, Tolkien invented that. The way that you see elves, the way that you see dwarves, the way that you see all those things, that is 100% Tolkien. And he actually he illustrated that. How fucking insane is that? So dope. So dope. So yeah, anyway, long story short, you can look at Outside In YouTube if you're curious about that video. Not trying to plug, just saying I'd go into detail about the fonts that I love. I used to write fantasy fiction and fan fiction in college, JBini says, but now very illustrated. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Tell us a little bit about your fantasy fiction. What was like the 2-sentence pitch, JBini? And also, for those of you guys who are new here, hi. My name is EI Werner. I'm a fantasy fiction author and the tavern keeper over at the Twitch stream of the Outside In. Right now in World of Warcraft, what we are doing is doing our own version of charity for this charity stream. Is we're just drawing some super low keys, which means like really low or level content, and being someone who's just like significantly strong. These guys are all at the highest level, but their gear is like way below mine, their experience way below mine. And I'm just helping them out with their keys and kind of smashing it. To help them out and make sure that they have a little highlight of their day. It was a Lord of the Rings and Aragon mashup story. I love that. I love Aragon Book 1. I think is one of the most iconic books ever. Christopher Paolini is the author of Aragon, and he started writing it when he was 14 years old. And remember that I had my idea for my book when I was 14 years old. And so hearing that he was able to successfully complete it by the time he was 18 was a huge inspiration for me. Ultimately, I started writing it earlier on, like when I was around 14, but I never... made it my primary writing project. I had other projects, you know, I wrote and sold movie scripts and things like that, but I never actually like dove deep into it, into the book until after I had sold my first movie script. and I never finished it until I was right before my 26th birthday. I finished my first novel. And that's another thing that I had on the agenda to talk about today. So there's your clean-ass segue. And my final project was my fan-fiction project where I wrote my own. Amazing. I love that. And Jamie says, Chris was a solid writer, and he inspired my brother, too, to write young adult for his fantasy series. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think writing is so goddamn hard. It's so lonely. It requires so much iteration to allow other people to see what is going on in your brain. And that you have to be so passionate about it. It has to bleed out of you. I mean, my brother Adam would say that the work to glamour ratio of writing is just goddamn awful. He's a super femme gay guy and one of my closest humans on earth. And he says that the work to glamour ratio of writing is goddamn awful, and I agree with that 100%. If I ever write a memoir on writing, it's going to be called Having Written. Because having written, coming at the end of a writing day, feeling fucking awesome, you've been caffeinating all day, working super hard, and what you wrote is just brilliant, because a lot of times when you're writing, Stephen King has this quote, he's like, I don't actually write my novels, they already exist. He's just like a paleontologist or whatever that's called, or archaeologist, looking at the fossils and uncovering it step by step. And I feel a lot that way. And sometimes after a long day and things were going well, and you feel like you caught hold of the whisper that was in your ear, and you were able to make it real. It's just the best feeling ever. But while you're writing, it's just so painful to stay focused, and everything when it first comes out is just so shitty. Writing is really rewriting like that, and it's very emotionally draining. And here we are. We're almost at the end of this dungeon. We've just been absolutely stomping it. We still have it's a timed dungeon, and we still have 19 minutes left, and we're about to be at the final boss. Usually you would have around 4 minutes left. Yeah, because we've just been walking through, barely doing any of the mechanics. I'm just like absolutely stomping it so that I can be engaging with the chat a ton. And yeah, after this, I'm going to take a long sip of my drink. I kind of earned it after a crazy day today, and I encourage all of you to do the same. The Outside Inn is not a library after all. This is a tavern. So the theme of let me change the song. Let's something a little more fun. A little more epic for the final boss. Here we go. What is the difference between sci-fi and fantasy? So the difference between sci-fi and fantasy is a little bit nuanced, right? Because a lot of things do kind of hop in both, do kind of cover both. For example, Dune. But I would say in general, sci-fi is the magic system is technology based. They actually make an effort to really explain how the technology works and how things are different. It often takes place in a future version of Earth sci-fi. Sometimes it's in a completely different universe, but oftentimes it'll be on Earth, just in a different time period. And fantasy is much more magic driven. It has a sword and sandal is the way that people in the industry would describe a sword and sandal vibe, in the sense of swords and dragons and knights and armor and epic quests and things like that. And even within those genres, there's many different vibes, right? So there's like contemporary fantasy, which takes place in our world. For example, Harry Potter would be something like that, right? So Harry Potter lives in contemporary London, but he goes to a wizarding school, right? And so that's very different than a Tolkien who created Middle Earth, right? And then there's some work, right, where sci-fi Dune takes place in a different universe, and it's all technology based, but it isn't. But it also is magical. There's this prophet who can kind of see the future and has all these powers. So it's both, and so that's why the line gets blurred a lot. Personally, I think that I'm much more connected to fantasy, right? So I find that I never play the video games that are like Star Wars video games, and I love Star Wars, but it's never been the same for me as like a Lord of the Rings or something like that, right? So for me, it's hardcore, more about fantasy. It's just what summons me more. And there are a lot of people who are the opposite, who find fantasy to be a little bit distant, but love the idea of stretching what technology can do in sci-fi. And what's cool about sci-fi as a genre, which I read a ton of, I mean, I read a lot of genres, but I read a ton of sci-fi, is that is that they guess a lot of shit, you know? Like, sci-fi writers are always the first people to guess what the future is going to look like. They always guess the technologies first before any of the futurists, before any of the theorists. These sci-fi writers are just so creative, and they're always so right. Can never get into sci-fi. Yeah, I do find that fantasy speaks to me way more than sci-fi does. That's just my personal opinion. Sorry, this song I'm just vibing to right now. Yeah, I'm more of a fantasy guy. I'm just a fantasy guy. And when we finish this boss, I'm just going to give you guys a quick update. Who I am, why I'm here, why I'm so goddamn grateful to be here with Wisdom TV. GG fam. What's our next key to stomp? Okay, yeah, we +3 that key. So here we go. What's that? First off, guys, I'm the Tavern Keeper over at twitch.tv/theoutsidein, which is a tavern, not a library after all. So please join me in filling yourself up with an adult beverage or any beverage. You know, tea works, of course, but I'd like you to kick back, relax, throw us on in the background. This doesn't even have to be your primary form of entertainment. I want you to put zero effort into this. I want you to just be, exist, relax, and be present. But yeah, my name is E.I. Werner, and I am a fantasy fiction author. That's my biggest passion. And I talk writing, Warcraft, and wizardly things on Twitch. Other hobbies I have is like surfing and feeling sorry for myself. I'm amazing at feeling sorry for myself. It's one of my, so good. Another hobby of mine is fitting writer cliches excellently. You know, I used to live in Brooklyn. I have a beard and drink too much, etc. Today we've been talking mostly about my book, a little bit about writing in general, and all in all, we're gonna be here for a few hours, guys. So buckle up, strap in. We're chilling. And I have. Another group. TY though, team. Appreciate you all. All right. So to give you a little explanation of what it is that we are doing on stream today, it's a charity stream, and we are doing a little bit of charity ourselves here. What we're doing is, as someone who is an extremely experienced World of Warcraft player, as someone who is extremely at the very highest level of geared, and my character is so optimized, so strong, I'm joining some people who just hit max level, the sort of content that they're doing, and just going in and like stomping it for them and just kind of making their day. They were expecting to have like a more challenging dungeon, but then I'm just coming out of nowhere and swooping in, making a little highlight in their day, just a little bit of fun, like smile, like, oh my god, what is this guy doing in here? Now I have 150k health, and this guy who just joined my group has over 1 million, right? And so that's what we're doing over here at the Outside Inn, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and join another key. I'm looking for one that's pretty, you know. Let's do this. So I want to see one that's like mostly full though, you know. Let's see, is there anything full? Alright, we just got invited to a group instantly. What's good, fam? I'm way too geared for this. Cancel it. But live on Twitch for charity right now. If you don't mind popping in to support the COVID effort, that'd be great. right, here we go, guys. So we just joined the group. What I do every single time I go into groups, I let them know that they are live on Twitch, so that way they don't, like, you know, get all sketched out by this. Yeah, they're laughing about the fact that I have 1 million health. That's what I was trying to say. I'm the second most geared person on my server of, like, you know, tens and tens of thousands. So it's kind of hard to explain just how, unless you play World of Warcraft, it's kind of hard to explain just how epic my gear is and everything like that. But number one most geared. Oops. Let me see what's going on. Somebody says it's not me streaming. Oh shit. My host stopped. I don't know why. Should work. Alright, we got a new follower here. Wait. Milfy, welcome to the Outside End. So appreciate you supporting the stream, supporting the dream, supporting Stimulus TV in their mission to better this world. Here we go, guys. I'm managing a bunch of different things because I'm still new to streaming for Stimulus. I've only done it like 3 times now, and I still figure out the chat and how I optimize my entire setup for them. So just bear with me if ever I take a second to call out your follower or something like that. Got a new follower here. One Big Sexy. Welcome to Stimulus TV and the Outside In. I so appreciate you shooting us a follow, supporting the stream, supporting the dream, as well as Stimulus TV and the charity that they're supporting. They're an amazing organization. Couldn't be more proud to be with them. Keep others. If I was keeping others up, I don't really need heals. And also do damage. All right, here we go. Alright, we're gonna get a summon. I'm the hunter in your group, One Big Sexy says. Welcome, brother. Welcome. I appreciate you. I think the host is working. I think it is working. It appears to be working. Yeah, I'm here / target scribe. Nice. Hunter help summon. Nikolai Music, what's up, baby? How's it going, brother? I feel like you... So, everybody in the chat, really quick, if you can hear me. I think you can hear me since I'm being hosted here. Actually, if you could switch over to Stimulus TV instead of the Outside In, because the chat is only showing up for the Outside In. It's not, if you chat, you're showing up in the Outside In chat, and I'd rather you show up in the Stimulus TV chat so that we could build some community here and have everything like that going on. So I'm sorry if I sent you to the wrong place by accident. If you could head over to Stimulus TV, if you're going to post in chat, which I would love for you to do. I love when you guys are engaged and hanging out. Just head over to Stimulus TV. I think that's probably the better place to do. And then if you can, just drop me a follow before you hop off over on the Outside In so you can figure out when it is that I go live. Also, this is booze, by the way. We are drinking. I pretty much always drink a little bit on stream. I like to have a drink while I'm hanging out with you guys. Just kind of takes the edge off the nerves and makes me feel super relaxed here and at home with everyone. When I first started streaming, I was super nervous. At first, I was nervous to just like post about it on my Instagram and shit like that because, you know, girls that I might be interested in are like, gonna fucking be seeing that I'm like some WoW nerd. But I am a WoW nerd. That's who I am. I've been playing WoW since vanilla. And I love this game so much. And it's who I am, and I'm just tired of hiding that and being ashamed of it. I spent a lot of time kind of in the closet as a World of Warcraft player in my life. And the time for that is over. Nikolai Music, One Big Sexy, how's that? Switched over, Nikolai. Both of you guys, thank you so much for swinging by and changing over chats to come back to the Stimulus TV chat. I just want to make sure that everybody who's chatting is able to hear me here. And yeah, this is gonna be a low-key stream, guys. We're just stomping these lower keys, getting a little drunk, and hanging out. So here we go. And for those of you who are new here, my name is E.I. Werner. I am a fantasy fiction author. I'm the tavern keeper at the Outside Inn, which is a Twitch stream where we talk writing, Warcraft, and wizardly things. This stream, so far, we've mostly been talking about my book, you know, the magic system in it, book one, and how it's the first of a trilogy, etc. But right now, we are going to be jumping into a key here. And while we jump into this key here, what we're doing is right now we're on a charity stream, right? So all this money, by the way, if you guys want to donate or sub, this money is not going to me. It's going to COVID relief and to support artists during this period of time. So go ahead and donate. I'm not really a big plug guy, but it's for charity. And these guys at Stimulus TV are fucking awesome. So I want to support them however I can. I really appreciate being here and just love them all together. They're just amazing. But yeah, today one of the things I want to jump into as we go into this key, which I barely even need to focus on, I'm almost entirely going to be focusing on talking to you guys, getting to know you guys, etc., is my book and how long it took me to write. So this is a question that probably top 3 question I get on stream. Number 1 question I get on stream is, are you gay? Number 2 question I get on stream is, what's your book about? And number 3 question I get on stream is, how long did it take you to write your book? So today, unless somebody asks me right now one of the other questions, which I'm happy to answer, of course, we're going to answer the third of those questions. And it's, how long did it take me to write the book? So you're going to need a little bit more information. So the book is 80,000 words, roughly 275 pages. One big says, lol, what the fuck? Why would they ask if you're gay? Why does it matter? The reason why they ask is because there's a gay pride flag on my wall. And then they see me and I don't seem to be gay. And so they asked me that question. I have it's in my FAQ, but my sexuality, which is because I get it so often. But, you know, I don't mind the question. I don't take it offensively. The protagonist of my novel is gay. And I think that's another reason why people ask me that a lot. But, yeah. If you could pass me the leader, if you guys are in the group, /B, pass lead if you can. I'll do a countdown. Yeah, I seen that, but it doesn't matter what sex you like. I agree, man. Brother, couldn't agree more. Doesn't even matter. Couldn't matter less. But so let's go back to the topic of. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked, my friend. But I appreciate the questions. Anything you have to say in chat, just throw it out there. It doesn't matter if you're interrupting me. But we're gonna go back to how long it takes me to write my book. So I'll give you a little. I'll tell you the story of how this book came to be in just a few minutes. So my I've been a passionate fan of fantasy fiction my entire life. As far back as I can really remember. I grew up in like a more Orthodox Jewish household, and I was with very strict parents, and I was limited in a lot of things that I could do. And I really found a lot of escape in in fantasy fiction, and the passion was just consumed my entire life. You know, series like The Red Wall, series like Bobby Pendragon, like His Dark Materials, Cirque du Freak. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. All of you guys have read a book in that genre, I'm sure, at some point in your lives. There was a time when I was a sophomore in high school that I had some ideas for scenes that I wanted to see in a movie. Or read in a fantasy book. I had some ideas for characters. I just started kind of having these ideas. And then I started getting into my head, like, who are the people that have these ideas? And I started obsessively reading the back. I remember going through every single book I'd ever read and reading the about the author section and the acknowledgments of every single one of those books in my annex. And I had a lot of books. Remember, I read a lot of, becoming kind of obsessed with them. And it was only when I was a sophomore in high school when I realized, like, oh my God, and I started, like, you know, really succeeding in English because I was a big reader, and one of my English teacher really started taking interest in me and my ability to write, and that I realized, oh my God, I could do it, but I was terrified to tell anybody because writing a book is not one of those things you start thinking that you're actually going to succeed. No, it's one of those things you're like, oh my God, this seems like the most endless, hardest process of all time, and you could spend an entire day working on a chapter, being miserable, all your friends are at the bar, and end up scrapping it at the end of the day, you know?
5, 4.
I didn't tell anybody except for my brother Adam till I was senior in high school. Then for my final project in high school, I wrote the first 10 chapters of this book, but ended up obviously changing everything because I was absolute trash. And when I went to college, I wanted to be a creative writing major, but I kind of hid it from people. And I was doing pre-med and all this other stuff, but ended up becoming a creative writing major and specializing in fantasy, etc. And so I wrote a few chapters of the book in college for different assignments and things like that, but I was too scared to start it, you know. I remember I wasn't just starting a book, I was starting a trilogy. The amount of work ahead of you, you know, if you start thinking about it, it's just so beyond insane. Once you try writing one chapter, you realize how much work you have ahead of you. And so I put it down. I never quit on writing. I always knew that this is what I wanted to do, was be not just an author, but the author of this particular book. And I worked on other things. I started writing movie scripts, which I had some success in. Most success came from a movie script I wrote about the first ever marathon runner in ancient Athens. The guy who runs like 26 miles and dies to protect the world's first democracy, Athens, from the invading Persian army. That was successful. And then I realized, okay, I know what it's like to look at a project that's going to take at least years, you know, and chunk it up into different days. That if I just do this enough days, that all of a sudden the end will be in sight, you know? That's what I kind of learned from those movie scripts that I really needed to learn. And that was when I started the book. And I was working full time while writing it, but it took me 3.5 years around from the time that I started it to the time that I submitted it to agents. About 3.5 years. It took me about 1.5 years just to write the first draft. At first I was moving very slowly. I was kind of obsessing about every little thing, every word, and making it perfect before I even way before I should have been focusing on editing. Before I'd even finished, I knew the story where it was going, but there was no reason to be focusing that much on it. Where am I? Okay, we need to go this way. Yeah. This spawns a mage, so we have to hit that. So yeah, I started chunking it up. You know, I just focused on writing every day before work. I used to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to write before work. I know that sounds insane, but and that you could never do it. But if you are as desperate to be an author, if you believe in this that much, you know, you would, because you would know that only you could make it happen. That no one else is going to write that book if you don't. And then you're just you want it to be done and out there so you can show it to the world, so you can read it yourself, so you can see kind of what's going on, that you're desperate for it to go faster. And then all of a sudden you're like, writing every day, 5 days a week. If not, you know, when I drink, the next day I don't write. So what I'll do is I'll like kind of after a long writing day, I'll like plan it. I'll like write 3 days hardcore in a row, and then get super drunk one night and not write the entire next day. Just lay in bed. I can't even play video games on those days because oh shit, we got some in the back here. It's fine. I don't even try to write on those days. I cannot write when I'm hungover. I can't even write when I'm like a little chilly. You know, I need like the perfect temperature. That's why when I go to coffee shops, I always bring like several layers. I bring bars just in case I get hungry. I only write in coffee shops, but I bring everything just to. I bring Advil just in case I get a headache. I bring Pepto-Bismol just in case my stomach aches. I bring everything so that if something is interrupting my flow, I have something to solve the problem. It's been hard for me since COVID started, you know, with... it's been hard in the sense of... I'm a coffee shop writer, right? It's hard for me to... This is where I play video games, you know? This is where I sleep. This is where I read. This is not where I usually write, in my room right now, where we are. And adjusting to that has been very difficult for me as far as my book is concerned. It just feels like harder. I don't know why. It's hard to explain. Going to the coffee shop, you know how like some people, like I have trouble working out at home as much too. You know, I've been working out a lot. I've had to get used to it here, but you know, one second. Like when I was back in college, I used to go to the library to do my homework. You know, I wasn't like do my homework in my room. Like I like to go someplace and have that be the activity, and then once I'm there, I'm gonna fucking do it. You know, all I have to do is get myself there, and once I get there, I'm gonna do it. Same with the gym. You know, once I get myself there, I'm just gonna fucking do it. So it's kind of the hurdle is like getting there. But now I'm not going anywhere. You know, and I miss my coffee shops. I miss good coffee, man. I've been drinking dog shit coffee. Dog shit coffee. I don't have a lot of money right now, and haven't invested in the materials to get good coffee, and so I've been drinking dog shit coffee. You know, like coffee I do not like. When coffee is like one of my biggest passions. But that's when you're tight. You know, those are the sacrifices. Those are the sacrifices that you make to live this lifestyle, to pursue your dreams. I'm not embarrassed the fact that I'm a little broke, you know? In fact, in some ways, I'm a little proud of it. Proud would be the wrong thing, you know? I don't think making money is anything ever to be ashamed of. I think creating value for people is a beautiful thing. But I've sacrificed a lot for this dream, you know? I've sacrificed a lot for this dream, and I'm proud of what I've been willing to sacrifice for this dream. You know, I had a cushy job, etc. And I'm on my way. I'm on my way. At least I think I am. At least I think I am. Bringing all this out here. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. I hope that's not because people are talking and I don't see it. I hope it's because nobody's talking. If you've been talking in the chat and it's just not working, and I haven't responded, it's just because it's not working. But I think it is working. Just nobody said anything for the past few minutes. I'm gonna refresh it. Just refresh it. Hopefully chats start coming up. Alright, here we go. I love this song. I'm listening, just TPSing. Yeah. Focus on me. You're chill. Okay, good. At least I can see the chat. Big Sexy, I appreciate you confirming that with me, because I was just like, normally people are a little more active in chat, which, you know, it's fun. I prefer when people interact, but, you know, nobody's responsibility to chat and stream. Just, I like when people are just chilling as well. I didn't see anything in chat for a little while, so I was curious.
4, 3, 2, 1.
For those of you guys who are new here, my name is Werner. I am a fantasy fiction author and the tavern keeper over at twitch.tv/theoutsidein, which means I just stream over there. And yeah, I met some of the founders of Seamless TV at Burning Man. And we are here. I've just never seen WoW before, so just taking it all in. Yeah, this is a complicated game with so much nuance and depth, and that's the thing about it, you know. I play a lot of video games, guys. I don't just play WoW. I play off stream. I play, like, this is my life. You know, I write, I read, and I play games. This is my life. And one of the reasons why I love WoW is just because I've been playing this game for so long, you know, and I know so much about it. And I understand the lore so deeply and so passionately. It's been such a part of my growing up, you know, my childhood. What is my favorite game? I would have to say that World of Warcraft is my favorite game, just because of what it's meant to me over the years. What is the best game ever made? Probably WoW also, but a new favorite of mine, which is probably my second favorite, is called Divinity Original Sin 2. It's like this super intense turn-based. I'm really into turn-based game. That's my best. I'm actually a former legend Hearthstone player. You know, turn-based strategy games. I beat Civilization on deity difficulty. You know, whatever the hardest strategy games are, I'm always picking them up. That's my thing. You should be proud of yourself following your dreams. Thanks, man. Some days, you know, I make my parents nervous. You know, they're always worried about me, and I don't have money to take girls out on cute dates, and so there are some ego things that are negative, but at the same time, I feel that I don't even really make a choice. This is just kind of who I am. I want to be your Chromio. How do you make a living on video games, writing and reading? Lots of books you wrote. So I make a living in several ways. The first is that I used to work at a startup that I exited, that I made some money, not a lot, nothing crazy. Also, it's actually funny that, because this is a question that I actually get a lot, I want to be a Chromio, is, first off, your name is amazing. Big Shakespeare fan over here. I worked at a startup. I started a company that I exited successfully, and it wasn't the result I wanted. We exited to a big company, and we never ended up blowing up, but they bought our technology, and so I made some money, and I also made like $20,000 in cryptocurrency. I was really early on that. And so I lived off of my earnings from those two things for the past, 15 months. And I've just recently had to start working again because I was living extremely lean. I have kind of a day in the life of an author video coming out sometime soon to show people the way I actually live, to live this lifestyle. Yeah, I've started working. The way I started making money was I tutor, right? I help people with their English essays and their college essays. That's my primary income, but it's been really hard for me with COVID. I'm an in-person tutor. I help the kids. You know, I'm not a tutor who helps the B students become A students. I'm a tutor who helps the kids who really aren't excited about reading. They never read the books for English class. I get them really passionate about it, you know, because I'm really passionate about American literature. And then I help people with their college essays. You know, I sit down with them. I get to know the kid, etc. I help people with their postgraduate applications. Like, let's say that tell me about yourself question. That's just the editing part. I mean, there will always be students. Yeah, there's always going to be students. But the truth is that my value is really like coming and meeting the kid in person and getting them excited about it. And my work is really diminished. Remember, I'd only been doing it for a few months. I didn't have like this super deep book of clients yet. I had just gotten into it. I quit my other job. I was reading books, like shitty books, for a production company in LA, helping them decide whether or not they should option it into movies. So it was a cool job because all I did was read books. The books weren't the best, and I did not get paid a lot of money. But I quit that when my tutoring started taking off. And then COVID hit, and my tutoring started slowly petering out over the next few weeks there, which is okay. But I'm also looking for jobs right now. I don't make any money. I haven't made my book is out. with editors right now, and maybe I'll make some money from that, but not for a few months minimum. And so I am looking for jobs right now. I applied to a job to work as a Hearthstone community manager the other day, which I would be really excited about because I love Hearthstone. I'm really passionate about the game, really passionate about Blizzard games in general, but Hearthstone is probably the game I'm highest ranked at ever in my life, finishing a season at 287 Legend. That was my highest rank.
5, 4, 3.
So yeah, it's been a little bit tough, but it's
1.
but I don't feel sorry for myself or want any pity or anything like that. Obviously, like, you know, I'm blessed to wake up every day and feel like I have a mission, feel like I have something to say. This is what I'm doing. This is what I care about, and I know how hard it is to not have that, and I know that most people don't. And so on one hand, there's a lot of negatives that come with this in the sense of how I obsess with it, of how I escape with alcohol and other situations, how I don't live in the present moment because I'm always thinking about the future in a world that has never existed. But right, so there's those negatives, but I wouldn't trade it. You know, I love fantasy fiction and I love video games, and I will make whatever sacrifices I need to make sure that I'll be ultimately able to support a family doing this. It's never been about money, obviously. You don't become an author of any kind, but definitely not a fantasy fiction author if money is your motivation. You know, it's not a real thing. It's just money is not big. It's not big in books. Let's put it that way. Maybe, you know, the top of the. I miss working with kids. All my stuff with them, teaching this summer got canceled. Yeah. It's honestly so goddamn fun. And Jay Beanie, it's actually kind of funny because you and I met when I was hanging out with that fucking epic 3-year-old at Burning Man. We need to talk to someone. Yeah. Talk to the person in the front, and you can go to the front. Is romance something that factors in my stories? Is romance something? Ubuntu Lilac? Ubuntu Lilac. Sorry. I just butchered your name. Ubuntu Lilac. That should have been easier to read. I'm sorry about that, firstly. Yeah, romance is probably the biggest part of my stories. So it's actually interesting. In my book, I'm not going to give too much away, but you know, at the beginning, every fantasy fiction trilogy, pretty much, there's a big battle at the end, right? Either you're fighting against Voldemort or you are fighting off some big thing, right? It's like the first big battle of the series. But for mine, the final scene is romance, and it's actually a queer romance. And I would say that the entire thing, remember that you're reading the perspective behind my book. I'm not sure if you guys were here for the earlier conversation about my book, but the concept behind it is kind of that you are living in a fantasy world where you're not the hero, right? Because we all live in a world where there are heroes, Barack Obama, Derek Jeter, whatever it is, but we're not them, right? And so I wanted to explore what it would be like to be in literally a fantasy world that's being saved by like kind of one person, really led by one person to be saved, and see what that meant for what that would be like, especially. And then to add a little nuance to that, this is the part that you guys are going to find interesting, is like, what if you're also gay and in love with the hero who's straight, right? And he's like your best friend, and he's kind of becoming a dick as you are, as he's getting more famous and like conventionally masculine. Yeah, that's kind of what the book is all about. So does romance play a factor? I would say that romance is the soul. I mean, it's all about personal development. It's about shame. It's about power, but it's also about sex, and it's about love, and it's about unconventional love. Hate those dick BFFs. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like this guy, he becomes super cocky, right? All of a sudden, he's got kind of like some magic powers, essentially. He's famous because he saved somebody's life. I'm not going to go into details because you guys will read the book at some point. You can read the first chapter on my own Twitch page, by the way. Yeah. Soul sex, Ubuntu Lilac, yeah. Ubuntu Lilac, the way that I first pronounced it, I need to watch that back. Maybe, I'm not recording this now, but I would love to see what I originally, how did I not, I read your name so easily now. It's one of those things, like, once you see it, you see it. TY fam, easy key, easy game, easy life. Love you all. Love you all. Swing by outside in tomorrow. I stream high keys. Okay. TY fam. Really appreciate it. Alright, so let's think about everybody in the game, guys. So I'm sorry if I'm not interacting for the chat. I just want to make sure. These guys were a great support. We +3 in this case, so we absolutely stomped it. Why is the bottom of my UI cut off? What? Guys, how did nobody tell me this? What? Let me see if this is working. UI is a user interface. It's what your thing looks like. If you see the bottom of my screen is kind of cut off. Oh, it's probably... I can't tell if it's... Guys, give me just like... Not gonna be hard. No. No. Give me 1 second. Nikolai Music says it's all good now. Did I just ruin it again? I'm just trying to see if I can keep the quality high and also keep it fully zoomed out. Just give me a moment here. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry about that. 50/50 Max says you look good, brother. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. Nikolai, hop in. Let's run your friend through some shit. The song is called Needle, by the way. It's from the Game of Thrones soundtrack. All right, chat. So what we're doing, Nikolai. One second. Let me get I have my friend, IRL friend, and his friend who needs some carries. Who we're gonna run some keys with. We're gonna get them in Discord so they can come say what's up to the chat. What is good, fam? Yeah, sure. Just give me a second, guys. We're just setting up this group here. We're gonna be running with an IRL friend. I'm just gotta get everything set up. Alright, let me get them to Discord. Let's get the group set up, team. Perfect. Alright, team.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Yo, what's good, brother? 50/50 Max asks, what's Discord? It's a way that gamers talk, right? So gamers chat over Discord. It's like a voice communications thing. You could join my Discord if you peep the outside in Twitch. Nico, what key does your friend have?
I actually have a key because he literally just got to 120 recently. He's like 427 right now.
Okay.
But I thought maybe we could find a low key with just like a DPS in it or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna look for. That's what I'm gonna look for. How you doing, brother? You have a drink with you by any chance?
I just finished a gin and tonic. So
okay, nice.
There you go.
Yeah, we're, for those of you guys in the chat, we are we are. Oh no, that's a +12, not a +2. We don't need that. +2 motherload.
Maybe we can do like a +5 or 6 or something.
Yo,
what's good? +2. Yo, what's good, brother?
Hey man, how you doing?
What's your name?
I'm Ethan. We talked to is Evan?
Oh yeah, what's good, brother?
Hey,
I didn't realize that this is your tune. I'm good, man. I'm good. You're live on stream, just so you know.
Cool.
You are streaming for charity. So everything that you do, every hill spell that you crit, every bit of DPS that you pump is for the good and welfare of the world. Okay. It's
Okay, I just want to let you know that I'm probably going to disappoint everyone, but that's fine.
No pressure. I can solo all the dungeons that we're running, so
Yeah, we're good, man.
yeah, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about us.
All right, I'm going to go take a quick piss before we do this.
Do you, brother? Do you? Live your truth.
Yeah. So I finally got a dagger, which is nice.
Nice, man. Nice.
But I need a second one. So.
Okay.
We'll try for that. All
right, we got into this +2 at Taldazar.
All right. Sounds
What
good.
is good, fam? I always invite everybody. What is good, fam?
We're gonna stomp this.
I'm way too good for this and can solo it. Will be fun. No need healer.
We don't even need a healer.
Trust. All I ask is that you go to Stimulus TV to watch their charity stream. All I ask that you go to Stimulus TV to watch their charity stream. We are live there now, so you guys are famous. Show your moms. That's what Ubuntu Lilac says, this doesn't sound very Game of Thrones, more like Hawaii-esque. Yeah, this song is not, I just kind of love it. It kind of gets me hyped up. It just makes me think about good things. I listen to it a lot when I'm like walking someplace and I just need a little upbeat. Ubuntu Lilac, I agree with you. JBD says, oh, we need a drink for this? I can be down for that. Also, welcome Evan's friends. Justine, who's the woman that I first met at Stimulus TV at Burning Man, welcomes you guys. And One Big says he's about to become famous being on stream now. Yeah, all these guys who are in the stream now, you guys are all going to be famous. Tell your moms, and there's no pressure. Everybody in the entire 9 people in this chat are watching you. No, but we're having a blast here. Small streams are the best, honestly. That's where I spend most of my time. I watch pro players and I watch small streams because you can actually interact with the chat and hang out. Can I get a summon, please? Yo.
On my way.
Cool. Yeah, way personal, JBD says, yeah. I think small streams is kind of the coolest. My ultimate goal with Twitch, this is my only goal, aside from to create, things that people care about, is to get to the point where every time I log in, I get like 40 to 50 people in the chat. Not because of vanity reasons, because I care about the numbers, but because I think that's going to keep the chat moving a little bit more. I think there's going to be a little bit more mojo because right now the chat's been super active tonight, but when I'm streaming over at the Outside In, sometimes that is not the case. Sometimes the chat gets really quiet for a while, and I start, instead of having it fill me up with life like it usually does, it exhausts me when I'm just talking to myself and I know no one's interacting with me. And listen, that doesn't mean to put any pressure on you guys to interact. Everybody should be using the stream for what it is that they want. If you're doing homework and you just want it on quiet on the side, that's
Yo, Evan, are we?
Yo,
can they hear us on your Twitch?
100%. Say what's up.
All right, cool. Just what's up, Twitch?
Yeah, these are people. These are not normal like outsiders. People who swing by the Outside in my stream. I'm streaming on a charity stream called Stimulus TV. So I'll link you the to help out for charity. Do you mind throwing it open on a side computer or something like that? Just we're just trying to. Sure. I'm trying to support them as much as I can. This is not like a plug for me or anything.
You got it, bud.
Cool, man.
Are we all here?
Pass lead for ready, check. And also, guys, I need 30 seconds. I'm going to go pour myself another adult beverage. I encourage all of you to do the same while I'm gone.
Should I not do this stimulus thing on the same computer because I'll just lag hard?
I don't know. I don't know. If you lower the quality to like 540p or something, it shouldn't be too bad.
Okay, cool.
Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just filling up a drink.
You ready to slam the DPS, Ethan?
Yeah, dog. So wait, dude, every time I go to a Twitch thing, it says that it's offline.
That's not normal. You should just go to twitch.tv/stimulustv_, and then click on the. You might have to follow it or something.
I just created an account, so maybe that's it.
Oh yeah, if you're not in an
Yeah,
account, that's probably why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is. I'm such a noob. Do.
All right, I'm back, team. Sorry about that. Let's do a little ready check action here, team.
Yeah.
It's Duff,
Yeah,
dude.
boys.
Let's get it. So what characters are you all? What characters are you all? What do you mean I want to be your Chromeo? And Simus TV says, welcome to the channel, friends. Streaming and vibing for charity. The Simus TV community is welcoming you guys. Oh, shit. All right. Just follow me, guys. Sorry. You're fine, dude. We're going to +3 it. I don't trust people not to run through these, so we're just going to kill them, okay? Don't attack them yet until I have aggro, you know? Tricks of me to help with aggro here. Like, what types of characters are you? I see a purple bird. Okay, yeah. So, in WoW, there's a bunch of different classes, and why am I blurry? What? There are a bunch of different classes and races that you can be. Guys, just make sure that they're attacking me, please. There are a bunch of different classes and races, and so what I'm playing is a Death Knight. Death Knights are like they're these slow-moving but ridiculously powerful people who have like control over death and like frost sort of energies. Mine is a Blood Death Knight, so mine's all about like sucking the life from my enemies so that I can take a lot of damage. And yes, that purple bird is my mount. It is my mighty steed, my noble steed. But I am a Blood Elf Death Knight. Other people in this group are like a rogue, which is like the trickster class, right? So they can go invisible and shit like that, and pick people's pockets and etc. So don't step on the purple. Guys, if you're in Twitch, don't step on the purple. And when he starts to chase you, run away. That's the mechanic. So this guy, he's going to do a pursuit mechanic, it's called. Okay, you guys are stepping in the purple still. So you see the purple puddles? Okay, over there too. There's another purple puddle. Okay, that's fine. So the idea is this. There's these purple puddles and there's stacks of bones. And if you step on them, then they make a raptor, okay? So now you hide behind line of sight, right? You get in this wall, behind the wall. Oh, I feel like my ex-boyfriends would call me what you just said about your character, Lala. Oh my god, that's crazy, Ubuntu. I don't believe that. I feel like if this was the way I would describe you, even though I don't know you and I've just met you. Ubuntu Lilac, if I was your ex-boyfriend, this is how I describe you. I would say that you are super passionate about things, and even though you're super quiet, that doesn't mean that you're shy, and that you are still figuring yourself out, but feel like you know what you aren't now because you tried a few things out, and maybe you just weren't ready for a relationship at that time, but we still have a good relationship. How'd I do? If I was your ex, that's what I would have said, Ubuntu, even though I've never met you before. Let's go this way. This way. I don't trust people to get the kicks on those raptors, so let's try to avoid them if we can. Is that a dinosaur? Raptor. Yeah, raptor. Guys, it's so funny. One thing that you'll learn if you ever stream on Twitch is that the second you go to the bathroom, you lose like 5 to 6 people. People just don't have any patience to wait for the bathroom. Okay, we're going this way. Actually, this trash is harder. This way. I'm just trying to do the things that we're not going to wipe on. But we're going to pull big here. I need people to interrupt shit and stun the auger, okay? And Curzio, will you help me with the auger?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Wow, spot on. I read the vibes, Ubuntu. I hope that wasn't creepy if I actually just got it right. But, because I don't actually know you, I was just telling a story. But, that's the vibe I got from you, Ubuntu. I like based on your name, based on our interactions. Those are the vibes. What would my ex-girlfriends say about me? All right, I'm going to tell you what my ex-girlfriends would say about me because I know I'm still friends with them. very passionate about love and sex and doing things for other people, but that passion also extends to my writing to a point that is unhealthy, and that I refuse to compromise on anything as far as my writing is concerned, and as such, I'm not ready for a relationship because I'm not quite ready to live my life until my book is successful, even though I know it's unhealthy. So that's what every single one of my ex-girlfriends would say, and done it enough that I'm not sure that I'm very ready for a serious relationship right now, just because I wouldn't want someone to get too invested. Don't worry about me, just don't die. Healer, focus on healing everybody else. I won't die. None of this can hurt me. And everybody else, just watch your feet. Don't even do damage if you don't need to. Just watch your feet.
Yeah, I got attacked. It's fine.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, there's no healer. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's no healer.
Oh, God. Oh, sorry, guys. I forgot that there was no healer. I was pulling like there was a healer.
We have to pull last. Yeah, we have to pull
Yeah, we have to pull last, guys. Yeah, I totally forgot that there was no healer. Oh, my God. Okay, legendary. Well, I forgot that we're running this dungeon without a healer. So just this pack I pulled too much, so you're gonna just keep dying. It's fine. Sorry about that. We need interrupts though. Like people aren't interrupting, and that's why they are getting wrecked. And also, most of this damage is preventable. So like, watch your feet, and you should be okay. All right, here we go. So this pack's going to be big. If we had lust, we would lust it, but we're just going to use all of our cooldowns and be legends, okay? We're not pulling that middle pack. We're going to do these two first here. You guys, let's bring them together if we can. All right, guys, we're going to do big cooldowns here, okay? Everybody interrupts as much as you can and watches your feet. There's going to be a bunch of shit by your feet. Don't get hit, all right? We're going ham. Give me a second to collect aggro. Tricks me if you can. Alright, here we go.
You want time warp?
It's not up. I have the debuff. Are you 3 on a raid? I'm not sure what the 3 is. No men seem to want partnership right now, lol, since we do know one another. You know what community I mean. JB, yeah, 100%. I agree. I know exactly what community mean, and I also know kind of exactly who you're specifically referring to. But yeah, I think that you have to find someone at the right time. That's such a big thing about love, is like colliding at just the exact.
You have to get in the blood pools, guys.
Yeah, get in the blood pools, but leave the close ones for Scry, because I'm slow. Yeah, soak the blood pools. Just step in them for 1 second, okay? And then kill this thing. The Gilded Gold. Spirit of Gold. Kill that one. Yeah, timing is everything. I also think, like, it's important to try, like, love. You have to try not to fall for people who, like, are not ready, you know? Which is why I tell people so quickly that I'm not ready. Because I want people to manage expectations. It doesn't always work, obviously, but, you know, because the thing is, I crave companionship, and I crave deep, meaningful relationships, even though I know that, like, I'm not ready, you know? Like, I'm just going to end up, like, obsessing about my book and traveling a lot and not investing in the relationship because, you know, enough because I'm going to be too focused on my work. So I'm waiting. That's the summary of that. Get in the blood pools if you can, fam. Because then the boss will damage itself. So the mechanic here is that the boss will damage itself. Otherwise, I think, like, yeah, like, we also, I think it's our responsibility to start also looking for people that are specifically looking for what we're looking for. And to take some responsibility for that, you know? Like, I often look for what's bad for me, right? Like, they did a lot of crazy, like, actors, actresses in my life because I like their passion, I like their fire, I like how we partied together, you know, really late into the night, etc. Remember that everybody's got to focus on their own health in this group, by the way, because otherwise you're going to die, right? So you want to, it's going to be your job to focus on your health. So we could, if we could stun that, okay, perfect. We have no res, so people are, oh no, we do have res, we have a shaman.
Am I getting any gear from this? Like, or is this?
You got it all at the end.
Copy
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You get it in the chest at the end. Wait, don't go. There's fire. Yeah, you got it. I think it's sometimes challenging when people say one thing and when it gets too real by both parties, the narrative changes. Yeah, I think that on one hand, like, obviously, yeah, that's fucked up of that person to do that. But on the other hand, it's like people's feelings change. I mean, how many times have you, as a woman, all been really attracted to a guy, super into it, and then all of a sudden they, like, say something wrong or do something a little bit weird, and next thing you know, you fucking, like, could not want them to touch you less, right? Like, people's feelings change, and their emotions and their ability and their lives change. And so I try to be super upfront and careful, but I do also recognize that I think it's just about a lack of communication. I agree. It's all about communication. But the truth is, if we're going to be completely honest, JBNE, like, I've still hurt a bunch of people. I mean, it's not hurt in like a disappointment, a mismanagement of expectations. Like, it's hurt just because they fell for me and then I was non-committal. But it's definitely better to communicate at the beginning, even, you know. We don't need to pull this middle area, so we're going to be going around here. Yeah, we're still really good on time, team, so we don't... I remember when I was just pulling the entire dungeon because I forgot.
There was no there.
I totally forgot. Feelings changing is fine, but blindsiding sucks. I agree. I think that if you have even a little bit of an instinct that you're not ready, you have to be clear about it. I think that's your responsibility as a human who knows, because we've all been on the other side, right? All of us have had our hearts broken, and all of us have been treated like shit before. I've been in the feelings change. Yeah, I think it's hard to mitigate hurt when it's results of honesty, but it's just a stripping along hurtful. Yeah, I agree, JBNE. I couldn't agree more. I think also you're feeling raw about it right now, and I hear that, and I think that it's unkind to do that, and I think going to dating without kindness, considering how hard, guys, this next pack, do not kill the totems, because if you kill the totems, a lot of AoE damage is going to go out, and without a healer, we're not going to be able to handle it, okay? I can handle it, but you guys are all going to die. So don't kill the totems yet.
Don't kill the totems?
Don't kill the totems. Kill everything else first. We're all in agreement with that. Dating with kindness, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah, man, the thing is that I've been hurt. I've been cheated on. I've had my heart broken, and I've also broken people's hearts, you know? I've made people feel like absolute shit in my life. And the amount of guilt I felt for that, because you always care about the people that you end up hurting, you know? Has gotten me to a point in my life where I'm like, try to be so goddamn careful. What's a totem? So, a totem, there were these little things. I'll show. These are totems. They're like these little things that, okay, every one of these totems, by the way, in the corners, this is a totem right here, needs to be killed at the same time. At the same time, okay? So don't try to show off your flashy DPS here. This is where you have to, like, focus on,
Oops,
okay,
shit, sorry.
Okay, don't hit the boss. Everybody kills the totems at the same time. Chill on the totem. Chill on the one that's half health. Incursio, chill.
Dude, I attacked it for 1 second, sorry.
I know, and it's just super low health. It's a low key.
Okay, are we good to kill?
Let me go over and help with this one. Yeah, go, kill. Everybody kill. And then help kill the ones that are not reanimating.
Oh, the one in the corner, the other one, the last one. Okay,
it's
we're
good. It's good. Totems are like these little wood things that have magical meaning in the World of Warcraft universe. They're kind of like elemental by nature, and shamans use them. That's the class that uses them. The fantasy of the shaman has to do with, like, there are these elemental gods, and they're like kind of the servants who can actually communicate with them, and they ask those gods for help. And the totems are just like a part of their lore and the things. It's kind of probably based off of, like, you know, Native American culture had these really, really tall totems. They called them totems, where they had like faces or shapes of different animals called out of like tree trunks that go all the way up. And I would say that it's probably based on that. I love the no healer run.
Oh my god. Getting close here.
Yeah, you have mage food though. You're good. You're golden. You're chilling. Let me get some Lord of the Rings tunes on. I'm feeling it. We still have 15 minutes to time. This time we're on the last boss and we have 100%, so we're fine. We are chilling, fam. We are chilling. We're having a nice relaxing stream as usual here at the Outside Inn.
Avoid all the spiders, guys.
Yeah, on the way up to purple. People die to that without healer. So funny.
Yeah. This one might be hard without healers because of the amount of damage you take from these spiders if you're not
I think
careful.
I can solo it, so I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I think I can solo.
I'll be right there. I'm just fucking waiting for this crew to pass by, so I don't pull.
Okay. Yeah, you can just, if you hug the side, you pretty much will never pull him. Got to really hug though, so just play it safe. Did you pull?
No.
Did
Nope.
you pull? Okay, you're God.
Just
You're
waiting.
God. You're God.
No, I almost got hit by the spiders though.
That's fine. I don't think you'll die instantly. I think you'll probably
Yeah,
take
they
70%.
won't kill you immediately.
You'll probably take 70%.
Alright, we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5,
Yeah. We
Go
just stack.
for it.
Okay.
3, 2.
Yeah, we're gonna stack in the back when the thing goes out, right?
Yeah, Nikolai, you call it out. Hate spiders. 50-50 Max says, yeah, I agree with you, brother. Fuck spiders. Okay, so you want to know a fun fact? Tolkien hated spiders.
Run,
As did
to the
Peter
back.
Jackson.
Stack in the middle of the back.
And that's why
Okay, now
Shelob,
kill all these things. Kill all these things.
Shelob is the, the spider from Lord of the Rings. Is Peter Jackson is definitely, he's like an arachnophobe. He's definitely afraid of spiders. And it's his imagination of what the scariest spider of his worst nightmares is.
Oh, that's awesome, actually.
Yeah. Although fuck
Yeah,
the
you
murder
ever
hornets
listen
too now. Yeah, true. Fuck the murder hornets. Yeah, she's a freaky. Yeah, Shelob is so scary. And also, yeah, fuck murder hornets. We don't need any murder hornets in our country. Like,
Okay, run away. Run away. Middle, stack middle.
nice, guys. Guys, if we kill this boss in the next minute, 14 seconds, which I think we will +3 it, which would be great.
Yeah, we got it. Big
Yeah.
DPS on boss. Let's go. We got this.
My pet is about to be unsummoned, like, wild, in 10 seconds. So just be ready for that. Don't pull
Shit.
damage off the boss, though. Don't pull damage off the boss. You're fine. I love the no healer situation. Here's the boss. I'm controlling it again. We're fine. Okay, good job.
Come on. We +3'd it, guys.
All right.
Nice
cool.
job, fam.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, Caps. Easy game.
Oh,
Easy
I got
key.
some stuff.
Easy life.
I got something for you too.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Streaming high keys tomorrow. Alright. We're gonna remake this group. We're gonna go try to help some other people. Good job, fam. JVini says, yeah, I agree. We're gonna just try to help some other people, bring a little lightness to people's WoW experience today. Just have a little surprise of just like this crazy tank and rogue swinging into your group. Without a healer, we don't even need a healer. So I love how he accepted us into the group, even though like he still needed a healer. He was like, "Oh, this guy just presses it." Totally ignores the the team comp. All right, and Curzio, will you put us both in a group again? Oh yeah, that was fun. That was super fun.
Cool.
All right, let's see what key did you get? What key did you get? We could do your key. Etos.
What's
ETAs?
Etos?
How do you pronounce your name?
Etos.
Etos. Okay.
Etos. Leave your group, and we'll
Yeah.
invite you again.
Sick. You know, it was actually Nikolai's housekeeper who named me Etos.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He was at my house like 10 years ago, and she couldn't pronounce his name, Ethan. So she was like, I don't know, he like popped out of nowhere once too, and she was like,
Amazing.
Etos, you're scaring me!
Amazing. Make me lead in Curzio and Etos. Look in your bags. There's going to be a thing that looks like this, okay? And I just want you to link it for me.
What is it?
It's a keystone. It's going to look something like that. If you right-click that, it's going to look like...
Sorry.
Look in your bags. If you look in your bags, look off my Twitch. Look in the chat. Look in the party chat.
Oh, yeah. Keystone. Yeah.
So you have one of the, you should have one of those now. What does yours say? And can you link
Keystone
it?
the mother load.
What's the number?
Mythic level 2.
All right, let's do it.
So I click that?
No, don't do anything.
No, you don't do anything yet. We have to find people.
+2. Stomp, carry. For
Maybe let's get a healer this time.
Actually,
just 'cause it's a little less
let's just
stressful.
join somebody else's group. I think it's going to be more fun. Savagery says, hey, cool cat and kittens. Love that, Savagery. Welcome to the Outside In and Stimulus TV. Happy to have you here. Let's join somebody else's group because I feel like it's going to be just to have like a random like 479 tank join their group, you know?
I also really don't like the mother load, so...
Dude, on this difficulty, we did it without it,
No,
like, you know.
I just find it to be like an annoying dungeon.
You don't have to do any of the mechanics.
That's true.
With me,
That is true.
we just walk.
I don't know if yeah.
We just walk
yeah,
right through.
okay. I guess we'll do whatever you want. I don't care.
All right, 6 Mechagon Workshop. Let's make it harder for ourselves, all right?
Oh, yes. Mechagon Workshop is perfect for me, dude. I need that.
I mean, I signed up.
I just did Mechagon Workshop a little earlier, and I just kept falling on that conveyor belt part. I was so pissed.
That's actually hilarious.
I was like, I cannot do this because I was lagging because I was also working.
Actually, Evan, ideally, can we do workshop? Because I just need one more kill for one.
We don't. I mean, I'm looking for the keys. We can. Let's see what the workshop keys they have. Okay.
Yeah.
Jack, I'm about to respond to your comment in 1 second. I'm just looking for a key for us, a group to join. Because remember, they need to have a bunch of open spots, and then they need to. Should we try without healer or no?
I'd say let's try with the healer if we can.
Maybe they'll kick someone for me.
It would be convenient, but we did do it once.
It would be nice to have a healer.
Yeah,
to be honest.
good.
Quite nice.
There's no real good groups for that. Jackal NYC says, "Are you normally the leader of this group?" The answer is that I'm a tank, right? Which means that I set the pace for the dungeon and decide what mobs we attack and which ones we don't. How to position the boss, right? Because they're always going to be attacking me. And as such, I would say that the tank is generally the leader of the group, and I take that responsibility pretty seriously. I do all my keys in voice comms, where I'm shot calling and pushing things the way that I do, but I also try to prepare and kind of and take responsibility for how the key is going to go. So in general,
Evan is a fantastic dungeon leader for sure. He calls out a lot. He's like really active. Usually leaders take more of a back seat, but you know,
Thanks,
Evan's
brother.
good.
I appreciate that. Sounds complicated. It takes brains to play this. Yeah, it takes brains and experience to play this. I think that my position, I would say, takes the most like brains, like strategy, planning, and positioning. I would say that the other positions are actually technically harder as far as like the buttons that you have to click at the highest level. All right, we got a workshop +6.
Yeah, but Evan, you're like always. The thing is that I've even just being in Raid Finder and stuff. It's like it gets so hard to deal with the mechanics, and you're calling it really well. So
thanks, man. I appreciate that, brother. But helping homies for charity. All I ask is that you swing by the charity stream. Not mine. Stimulus TV. TY fam. Alright. Jon Snow knows how to fight. Thank you, Savage. I've been getting a lot of Jon Snow comments these days since I've been growing out my hair and beard in quarantine. A lot of Jon Snow comments. Like, for example, I've tried to play DPS, right? Even on classes that I pretty much understand. And my min-max, like, I'm good. I'm solid. Obviously, I have a lot of experience playing WoW, right? So I'm not trash. But, you know, there are some people who are so much better at that, about min-maxing every little thing. And there are a lot of tanks that min-max a little better than I do. What I bring to the table, I think, is the leadership element and also the preparation. Like, I prepare harder than other tanks. Like, I always know my route down pat. I always know how much % everything gives. I always have read all the detailed explanations of all the boss abilities so that I know like whether or not my anti-magic shell is going to block this mechanic or not, and I know whether or not I'll have time to get an extra death strike in if I'm going to move, right? So I'm preparing. I'm watching videos. I'm reading on the deep Reddit. I'm part of a Discord that it's called the Atris Discord. It's all about Death Knight stuff. I want to be your Chromio, and now my watch has ended. All right, I want to be your Chromio. I'm about to surprise you with something, okay, while we wait for the summon. Can I get summon, please? Give me a second. We're live on Twitch for charity. Here, come hang. You're famous. Tell your mom to watch XD. You ready, guys? While we wait for the summon, will you guys go help summon while I do this? Guys, it's a dangerous world out there, and someone needs to be at the top of the wall, sacrificing things of their lives to protect us. And so I'm gonna give you my Night's Watch oath right now. I'm gonna swear it, okay? Closing my eyes so that you know that I'm not reading anything, okay? Hear my words and bear witness to my vows. Night gathers, and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death. I shall take no wives, hold no lands, and father no children. I shall wear no crowns and win no glory. I will live and die at my post. I am the watcher on the walls, the sword in the darkness, the shield that guards the realms of men. I pledge my life and honor to the Night's Watch for this night and all the nights to come. Boom. You just pop in and out of other people's raids. No, I mythic raid with my guild. Usually, that's what I usually do. But what we're talking about. Ubuntu. I get your question. What I'm talking about is Mythic Plus dungeons, which are five man groups, which I often am running with strangers because they have something that because they have a key that I want to run, they have some access to some dungeon that I want, and in those situations, that's when I take on the leadership role. But I also like to lead raids, for my friends to get them the loot that they need, because they're not in guilds. Some of them. Let's see. Impressive, man. Not just sure about the no wives part. Yeah, that would be gnarly, dude. I think that the idea of abstinence is such a crazy concept, but it's not just Judeo-Christian, like a lot of these monks and shit are abstinent too. And so I don't know why people are so
should we get summons out?
I'm ready for summons.
Is anyone here? Let me see.
Yeah, I would not join the Night's Watch for that reason. I'm way more wildling than Night's Watch. I hate the forced abstinence of courting. Yeah, not even sex, just like hand-holding, for God's sake. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. It's been tough. Yeah, it's been gnarly. It's been gnarly for all of us. So that's the thing, is that we're like alone, like we're not in this. We're alone, but we're not in this all alone. Like everybody's stuck.
Can you head there? Because
what dungeon are we doing? I forget.
Mechagon doesn't seem like these guys can know how to get here.
Okay, yeah, I can get there. Gnarly's a great word for it. Yeah, man, I haven't kissed a girl or been excited about something like that in a long time, and masturbation's not exactly my thing as much anymore. Not because I'm too good for anything, but I just not into porn really, and so it's been time consuming. It's kind of time consuming to do, but it's been a weird few months, man. I mean, like I started doing the Hinge thing a little bit, but then they're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking FaceTime? Like what? I'm gonna show you my boobs? Like, I don't know.
Yo, Ivan, I will say that I have been doing precisely that, and it's been pretty nice.
It's been pretty good. How?
Nah, just like we've been like whether it be on Hinge, you like virtual date, and it's not even like, even if it doesn't like get sexual, it's mainly just like, just like have a nice romantic connection with someone that you see on FaceTime, and then you're like, oh, I'm kind of warm and fuzzy for a day or two.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, just even texting a cute girl, like I get all warm and fuzzy. Honestly, like I have more energy. I get like all these crazy like this crazy hormonal almost reaction, like where I just feel like I'm different the entire day when I'm like talking to a cute girl.
I think we all get that.
It still works on FaceTime, man.
It does. Yeah. Okay.
No, I did it with a couple girls.
I have not been doing it at all, to be honest.
Let's do it.
Alright,
for-
how many
At this
summons?
point, I am gonna go and meet this girl in social distance at the park.
Oh shit,
will
dude.
be-
That's real deal. That's legit.
It's real deal, bud.
Yeah, man. Nice. Dude, I'm actually happy for you. That's fucking stoked.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm hyped about that. I'm glad that you found some connection. I also kind of have trouble on... Dating apps are always a little hard for me. Like in New York, they were super easy for me. I felt like it was working for me all the time to meet good people. But in LA, like I found that like a conversation's kind of starting, get going, but people like are not afraid to flake like mid-combo in a way where like in New York, it's just kind of like, let's just go on the first date. You know, it's so easy. I'm going to pick a bar right next to your apartment. I'm going to pay for the drinks. Like, you were probably going to get drunk anyway because it's New York City, you know, like...
Yeah, we'll get drunk and walk 1 block home. And
it's just easy, you know? I felt like in LA, like, there's some, like, emotional situation where people just cognitively think it's a bigger load to go on a date. I'm literally excited about getting close to any human right now. Nah, fuck FaceTime dating, Jay Beanie says. Jackal NYC says. Jamie says, I'm dating someone in LA long distance now that started right before quarantine. And you got to keep it interesting. FaceTime sex magic is the best. Jay Beanie, I actually disagree. FaceTime sex and that kind of stuff has never been my thing, personally. And I'm all about, like, sending nudes. But I'm not. Maybe it's my... maybe it's because I don't masturbate that much myself that... Maybe I'm not as comfortable with my own masturbation, and therefore I don't feel as comfortable. I don't know. I know this is getting a little gnarly, but hey, this isn't a library after all.
Here, did you get
Nudes are the
your
best.
stomach?
I can add you to my chat log. Yeah, please add me to the chat, Jay Beanie. Please.
Imagine
it.
Guys, I'm gonna say the nerdiest thing ever. Imagine Hinge had a summon function.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
At the meeting stone.
Whoa.
Well, all right, let's.
But you need 2 people to summon.
Whoa.
Cause we please.
Alright, wait, Etos, did you get your goddamn summon or no?
I'm here,
I'm doing what
man.
we can with what we
Okay,
can right now.
okay,
I wouldn't
good,
pick FaceTime if there were
good,
no others.
good.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you, JB. I agree, and I think that it is important. I also think that if it's working for you, it's working, and that's all that matters. I also don't know if I've ever like been dating someone that seriously for like a long distance period of time that warranted like having to learn how to do that. You know, like I've always like dated people that are near me, so I've never been close enough. Yeah, I can repair mount. I got you, fam. No problem.
We're doing workshop.
Wanna be Chromeo says, love this tune, dude. This is the fucking the Concerning Hobbits is the best song ever.
I asked someone for a repair mount the other day, and they called me a troll. I was like, what do you mean?
That's an insane thing. I've asked for a repair mount for many years of my WoW career. Many years.
It's like we were just about to finish the Waking Dream, and I was like, "Yo, dude, we're about to do Nihilith or whatever, like whatever it is in Zoth."
You don't need to teleport to workshop. You don't need, just put the key in. Sorry. Lock stones, and then I'll do the countdown.
I wasn't aware.
What?
I thought you had to
Axio
teleport
date,
to...
Axio cuddle partner. What is Axio date? Oh, Axio.
Sorry,
Oh, he's casting a spell. 50/50 Max is casting a spell in the goddamn chat. I fucking love that, guys.
What am I doing?
Fine.
Axio, I think there's somebody in the chat casting Harry Potter spells, and I love it. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, you guys all disappeared. I did not get the message.
Don't worry inside. Don't worry. You're fine. Just as long as you're inside the dungeon, you're fine.
You disappeared. Where are you?
As long as you're inside the dungeon. Remember, the dungeon also kind of looks like where you just were, right? But you'll see us. You'll see us. All right, we'll summon him again. Summon him again.
I'm here next to the stone.
No, you go inside.
No, you go inside
you
the
have to
dungeon.
go inside the portal.
Yeah,
inside the portal.
there's a portal next to you.
Spells work in Twitch too. I agree.
Okay, sorry guys. I'm a noob.
You're a good fan. You're a good fan. I love it. You're honestly gonna get stomped in this dungeon. It's gonna be hilarious. I can solo it, so we're fine. But yeah, you're gonna get wrecked.
Can't wait to get stomped.
Every one of these boss fights, I expect you're gonna die. But
well, we'll just have to see how...
Surprise me.
I'm gonna put a stopwatch on each one.
All right, here we go. Are you in?
I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all in.
10-second countdown, team. Take a sip of your drink.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Also, guys, I'm about to go over on Stimulus for those of you guys who work at Stimulus in the chat, is it okay if I go over? Or is somebody going after me? I think I can go over, right? I didn't see anything on the schedule. If I can get a confirmation from one of you guys, just let me know. I will stop if I have to. I'm good? Okay, Stimulus TV said we're good. Okay, cool. Alright. For this, the environment is very dangerous, Itas, so just like make sure you're not getting hit by shit, okay? You're gonna see some things like zipping around, like saws that come out of the floor. Just try to ignore those. Try to avoid those. Beware. Right, and then I'll tell you what to do for this next one.
Okay. Sorry, I just got kicked off for 1 second.
Okay, I was like, wow, you're doing 1.4 key DBS. That's really not a lot of DBS.
No, yeah, no, like I just like got a call and I got off the Discord and I was like, oh.
I was like,
okay,
I feel
so
like
the environment, I gotta watch out.
Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Healer, don't heal me. Heal others and do damage. Yeah, I don't need to be healed. I can solo everything probably up till plus 13, 14.
You could solo the whole instance by yourself?
Probably, yeah. If I took my time. Man, I'm
That's
soloing
ridiculous,
heroic
man.
older.
It's absolutely absurd.
Remember that I'm real. I think if I had to be the best at anything in this game, it's probably soloing content. I'm really good at it. Because I just learned the boss abilities to the point where I know exactly when all the damage is coming through, and I just time and I get my rhythm, and I kind of just exploit something. Because there's a lot of mechanics that are based on how many people you have, right? So it'll summon a blob on every person, but then it's just you. So there's some mechanics that are actually easier. It's just about managing the incoming damage. There are obviously some bosses that are impossible, that have one-shot mechanics that require multiple people to execute. For example, Gahoon, right? Can't solo that. But
You could if you were better.
yeah. One day, maybe 3 expansions from now, people will be able to solo Gahoon. I don't even know then. I mean, if you don't get the orbs, the amount of damage that comes out is so insane. Like, I think it's going to be minimum 3 expansions for Gahoon because you have to do the orbs. Otherwise, Gahoon doesn't... I don't know if... Yeah, I don't think it's possible. Well, what are those funny characters popping up in the pop-up screens? Little trolls? In the pop-up screens. What do you mean by the pop-up screens? I don't know. Oh, on the pop-up screens. Yeah, those are gnomes. Those are gnomes and mecha gnomes. They're like really smart, like little nerdy little characters. It's a gnome. Yeah, it's a gnome. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of the races in World of Warcraft. They're like really smart engineers, like who are really short. So there's actually an interesting thing that I brought up several times on stream, which is that like which race or would you have sex with or marry that's not elf? Because the elves are just better looking humans. Right? And so I would
the female gnome,
I would have sex with the female gnome. I think
boy.
Listen,
I don't know, man. What about a female troll?
No, not about it. I'm not about the gargantuan. No, Jackal. Elf you can't do. You can't do elf and you can't do human. Okay?
Tauren.
No, not down. So listen, let me explain myself, Noko20, okay? Welcome, by the way. I say female gnome because even though they look super young and small, they're smarter than you and probably stronger than you and older than you, maybe.
Are they stronger than you?
So the idea that someone's super young but who has the ability to consent and is like a WoW character, so they're obviously going to be stronger than me, like, I'm down, right? Whatever. So what they look like,
level? Like, are they like 123 elite or what?
I don't know. I don't really know. I've never gone for. Haha, you're not. Are the male gnomes handsome, lol? I don't know. So when I ask men, the variety is really vast, but a lot of girls pick orcs. They're like these big hulking like green skinned humanoids who like probably have enormous dicks, right? Like, obviously.
That's why I'm talking about the female trolls, man. I'm saying the female trolls could work.
That could work, yeah. I hear you. Not for me. I'm a gnome. I think I would just go for no. I was thinking this was going to be way more thought out.
Bolstering, man.
Listen, everybody has different. Oh yeah, I keep pulling more and more for no reason. I forgot that bolstering was a thing this high. It's fine now. I can solo. It's fine. I forgot that bolstering was a real thing. Because remember the last key we ran didn't have bolstering.
Oh, come on.
Alright. It's alright.
You scared me, Dutch.
Sorry, I forgot bolstering.
Dude,
You have to go
to
yeah. Die and reset,
Jesus.
please. Well, wait, the female trolls have large dicks? Chill. I don't think the female trolls have large dicks. They're just like big. They're really tall.
What do you mean you don't think the female trolls have large dicks? I thought they assume you don't have dicks at all.
I don't think they have dicks. That's what I'm saying. I wonder if...
They have massive clits though.
Okay. Yo. You're getting a little... Let's take it one level... Let's take it one level lower. Let's take it one level lower. Anyway, Nikolai, you talk about it. You give me shit about liking gnomes, but you haven't given me an answer about what you would choose. So honestly...
I would choose any non-human character. I don't know. Besides elves. Elves are pretty hot.
Elves are better than humans. Yeah.
I'm a super hot elf, dude.
That's why I play elves.
Speaking.
I've got it. Draenei.
Draenei. Oh, Draenei's are babes. Yo, Draenei's are low-key hot. Draenei are low-key hot. Draenei.
It's not even low-key.
They're flat out hot. They're so blue looking, though. They're really blue.
Yeah, it's like with Avatar, dude. It's like
you're right. You're totally. It's actually just Avatar. He's completely right, dude. He's a writer, by the way. Chat, by the way. Ethan is a writer, so it doesn't surprise me. It's actually just Avatar. That is so funny. Draenor is honestly the answer. Although I think gnomes are kind of cute. I'm down, whatever. What is a Draenei? Like an avatar? I would say if you could Google Draenei here, I'll type how you spell it. It's like that. Okay, venting flames. We have to hide behind the box. You see this box over here? We have to hide. I totally forgot to tell you because I was telling people to look up Draenei. By the way, I tried to help people spell Draenei, and then I was trying to do the mechanics and type at the same time and completely misspelled it. J Beanie, that is not how Draenei is spelled. Just look up Draenei Wild Waste as best as you can think. One Big 60. I couldn't figure out who you reminded me of early. Jessica, I grabbed Seth Rollins. Who's Seth Rollins? Is that am I
Wait, Evan, you gonna tell us when we get back behind the box? You know the mechanic?
Yeah. Okay. Now go. Yeah. And the other mechanic you just spread for, okay? Do we have a healer? I'm not really getting a lot of heals right now.
We do.
Okay, I'm taking a lot of damage. Healer, if you are listening, I could use a little heals. I'm not gonna lie. I could use a little heals, probably. This is
Mr. I can solo 15.
No, this is Mythic 6. No, I can't do... Not on Tyrannical. It would have to be fortified and it'd have to go slow. He's a wrestler. Okay, Seth Rollins. Somebody post a picture of Seth Rollins as well. This is what I remind him of. I don't get a lot of celebrity references, except recently since I've been growing out my hair. People give me a lot of Jon Snow comments. All right. I can solo. You guys die. I want to prove to you I can solo. Or don't hit the boss. I can solo. 100% solo at this point.
Well, now that you gave me permission, I died 30 seconds before you said that.
Yeah. It was, you knew what I was going to say.
He only died because you gave him permission.
Exactly.
Yeah, 30 seconds before the fact, because I'm cool that way.
100%. 100%. I'm ignoring this one and just using my... Okay, there we go. All right, I think you release right here, by the way, team. So you can just release right here. Seth Rollins. All right, we're pulling up a pic for the chat really quick. Oh my God, I do kind of look like this guy. I have to go back to playing, but I do kind of look like that guy. Is he a nice guy? Because I'm a nice guy, honestly. I've never really gotten any consistent celebrity lookalikes until I grew my hair out. And now I get Jon Snow literally nonstop on stream. Nonstop. Every single time I play, I get
You look a lot like Jon Snow. That's true. Yeah, I'd agree.
Which
I'm
so
bad at this part.
Okay, what you want to do is, if you see the sides, right? If you walk on the sides, there's no...
you can just walk on the sides.
Yeah. Also, the Warlock could theoretically help you and put a lock gate down, and you could skip like 80% of it, but I bet he doesn't know that mechanic, which is alright.
I can locate.
Those Draenei are hot. 100% the Draenei are hot. 100% Draenei are hot.
Oh, and I did it.
Not debatable. Not debatable. And I've always got Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman is my celebrity crush. And the reason being is that I think that she and I would be remain happily married for the rest of our lives. It's not about sex for me. I think that Natalie and I, from an intellectual, romantic commitment, if she and I ever got to meet and she wasn't married to a ridiculously talented choreographer, don't pull these mobs, by the way. Move back, move back. We don't want to pull them because of bolstering. I just think that Natalie Portman and I would remain married, happily married for the rest of our lives.
Is it just because intellectually she went to Harvard?
No. So there's this writer that I like, Jonathan Safran Foer, and
yeah, of course.
She has this like correspondence with him that was made public on the internet. It's just so smart, and she's so goddamn cute. I think Black Swan is an incredible film about the sacrifices that it takes to be an artist, and I just think she seems refined. I think she's Jewish, right? But she's not like, she didn't marry a Jew. She's not like obsessively Jewish, and I'm Jewish, but not obsessively Jewish as well. And she like is Jewish and takes a stance on Israel where she's like, listen, I can disagree with some things, but also agree that Israel should exist, right? Which I'm not sure how you feel, and I really don't want to go into politics, but we have a similar stance on it where we can criticize without feeling like we're being anti-Semitic or something like that, you know? And all around, I don't know. I've just been obsessed with her for an extremely long time. I'm a big fan. Let's put it that way. We will have to go out for a drink when I'm back in LA, and then we can chat about our Natalie Portman, and I'll just look like her. I'm down. You have way bigger boobs than Natalie Portman, but I 100% agree. I'm down.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Natalie Portman and I would... Okay, Nikolai, what's your celebrity crush? Don't say you don't have one, because you obviously have one. And
I certainly don't. I would have to think about it, man.
Oh my! Not having one on hand just means that you've never
existed. I just don't have one on hand. Like, why?
Yeah, how have you not thought of that?
Have you not? All right, Ethan, you're up.
I would say when I was younger, it was always like
Chris.
my first one was always Jessica Alba. You know,
really? That's OG.
Yeah,
that's like Britney
Spears.
Spears.
She's just really hot.
Yeah, exactly.
What about like my OG was like Britney Spears. I was so into Britney Spears and like Angelina Jolie back in the day.
I'm all about Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz? I hear you.
Angelina Jolie's too weird, man.
I'm weird too, though, man. I'm a fucking fantasy fiction writer.
Yo, okay, what about the Angelina Jolie in Gone 60 Seconds? She's got those blonde dreads.
Dude, I'm so down. I'm down for Tomb Raider. Angelina Jolie is the best. Jessica Alba, one big sexy says Jessica Alba was mine too. Noko20 says Jessica Alba for the win as well. Ev, okay, this Natalie Portman overview makes up for the gnome explanation. Okay, listen. I can't explain it. Okay, I would probably take Draenei now that I've seen it. Okay, I'm so excited I'm so excited to watch people. Also, I hope nobody clipped that section of my stream so that people can actually see me talking about like gnome sex online. But for this, what you want to do is you need to dodge these like swirly things, and the key is you just use the smog to kind of dodge it. Oh, I just got hit. Okay. Jay Beanie I was into Lola Bunny and hot Disney characters. Hot Disney character, men or women or both? Obviously, like Jasmine is by far the hottest Disney princess. There's not even a comparison.
Live action and animated.
Yeah. Jasmine is on such a different level. Jay Beanie says both. She's into both. Gnome sex, slay brother. I honestly, gnomes are my second after Draenei. How's that? Oh no, is he gonna come in here? I never do this because I usually use the. Jasmine was a smoke. Jasmine is a smoke. Listen, those Disney stories don't happen in time, right? So they didn't happen in the past. They're always happening. Those Disney stories are timeless. And there's steam here. Warlock, come in this steam. No, you blew it. It's all right. Belle, Jasmine, Ariel are beauty. Yeah, Ariel's my second. I'm also down about the ocean. You know, I'm by. No, fuck Belle. Not down. No judgment on the gnomes. Yeah, I appreciate that. Man. I appreciate that. Listen. To each their own, okay? I'm not talking about young people. I'm talking about powerful, smarter gnomes who are smarter than me and can consent easily. Consent with excitement.
He's talking about bodybuilder gnomes who can give consent.
Exactly. Bodybuilder gnomes.
Yeah, dude.
Jay Beanie is a mermaid, so obviously I could say. Ariel's an absolute babe too, and her like yearning for like the land, yearning for something that's not real yet. Jasmine's like desire to like see the world. Come on, like they're fucking epic. They have that adventurous spirit that we need in our princesses. I love it. Not
Dude, how do you even do this?
I'm just gonna solo this up here. You guys just will come when you come. You'll figure it out. You use the smog. You have to use the smog to not. So if you get caught in the red circles, you're gonna get sent back to the beginning, right? So you use the when you're in the cloud of smoke, they can't see you, even if the circle goes around you. So what you do is you kind of like make a little move from one cloud of smoke to another, and you kind of watch the pattern, see where they're going, and then just kind of move into the smoke. And then you take a break, you kind of see what your next move is, but go from smoke to smoke. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you got it.
I'm just gonna, you don't really do that much damage anyways, I'm just gonna start this boss without you. It's all good.
Sick.
You don't need it to get loot at the end. And I'm streaming tomorrow on Simulus at Sims 4. I made all our Burning Man camps and I want to add you to it. What's my ply name? I can't roll. I don't have a ply name. And Naval's there. Oh my god, I'm so down for Naval. Naval is an angel. Guys, so the story behind this girl named Naval, she's 3 years old, and her name is Naval Academy is her ply name. And I was on mushrooms and met her and her mom. And Naval is literally the coolest 3-year-old of all time, and I just had a play date with this girl and her mom, like playing with toys. She was telling me about the Tooth Fairy for like fucking 3 hours, and I was having the best time. And that's when I met Justine, who introduced me to Stimulus TV, and now we're here. We're way over time, but we're chilling. Actually, we're not way over time. We're doing fine. Okay, you see the plant in the back? That's what we gotta kill. This one right here.
Hold on time, man.
They're still getting through the half our group is still getting through is still doing it. It's all good. You have to, once you get it once, I think you'll have it for the rest of your life. But
exactly, it's really easy once.
And
you
her
get
mom
it.
is Mandarin. Yeah, I remember Mandarin, of course. Wow, Jay and I really are hot. I totally forgot about alliance like that.
I called it, bro.
100%.
That's all I'm good at. I'm not good at damage. I'm just good at calling shit like that.
Yeah, I know. No, honestly, you bring a valuable service to the stream, my friend. We're completely doing this boss without you in the Warlock, which is hilarious, but on a tyrannical week, +6. And Healer, you can focus
down. It, but here I am, just
You'll get it. You'll get it. I just wasn't going to wait, because I knew it was going to take a while.
Fine.
And take your time, yeah. That way there's less pressure on you, like, you know, you don't feel like everything. What's a ply name? Is that what you said? Yeah, I want to be your Chromio. There's a ply name is... So, Burning Man is not the real world, right? So they call... Burning Man, they call this the default world, and Burning Man is like its own place, right? That's... Burning Man is home. And so people have used different names when they're there to kind of help them sink into that that spirit. For example, the girl that I was dating at Burning Man this year, her ply name was Artemis, right? And I didn't even know her full name for like until I got back from Burning Man. I only knew her
name is typically gifted by someone
and it's
else.
gifted by somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's what we say by ply name. Justine and I met at Burning Man, and that's how I got connected with Stimulus TV. And we had like the most intense, drugged up conversation. Drugs isn't like not like psychedelics, not like other sort of. And we just talked about like fantasy fiction and books that we liked, and yeah, that's how we connected. And I think her man was slightly jealous because we were having such a tight conversation, honestly. Beware. Her man at the time. The massages, what a great day that was. Oh my god, yeah. At Justine's camp, they had this like green tea like setup, but they also had like a massage spa setup one day. So I'm coming here, I'm like tripping on drugs, and I go into this place. It's been hot all day, like dehydrated, and 3 like beautiful girls give me a whole spa where one of them is massaging my scalp, one is giving me a facial, and one of them is tickling my arm, like full just like trying to give me the chills while feeding me like ice green tea and shit. It was so epic. Middle of the day, loved it. I can mess with experience. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Oh, I forgot bolstering. Okay, we don't want to pull too much. We still have 11 minutes. We're doing great. You guys want to stand in the shield generators. I forgot to tell you. You guys should stand in the shield generators. If you can. You see the shields? If you can stand in that, it's going to really help you.
It doesn't reduce the damage output?
Huge. Not that you take. It's the reduced
damage. Not that I give?
No. And there are these squirrels that don't have any threat meters, so I can't. That'll like explode on you.
That was a bit bolstered, but it's okay.
It's fine. Guys, we are wrapping up this queue, which means that we are wrapping up this stream. We still have another boss left to do. I'm going to be really impressed, Itas, if you don't die. I don't care at all what damage you do on this next box. I want you to...
I'm still trying to do the thing. I can't do it.
Oh, you're still back there? Oh, that's hilarious. How about that?
Can't do it.
Just think about it and go really slow, and just you have to use the gas vents.
Yeah, there's the 2 gas vents immediately, and then after that...
Don't overthink it. You're overthinking it.
No, there's one at the end on the left that's really small that you need to use.
Okay.
You're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. I could go back and just run you through it again. We have time. So if you can't do it...
No. He'll figure it out.
I do think that you can figure it out. I think you're overthinking it.
No, I didn't know about that small gas vent.
That's how I didn't get it.
Okay, I haven't done it. I have known it for so long now that
The small one.
I didn't even remember what the issues were when I was switching. These guys are super bolstered. That's why they're hitting me like a truck. But we'll kill them soon. Still have 100k, but it'll be fine. Let me know if we need to go back to go snag you. Ubuntu Lilac says...
I'll get it now.
Is this still Game of Thrones?
Sorry, I'm useless.
Are you still stuck or are you good?
I'm starting it this time, and we'll see if I get it this time.
I think you got it. I believe in you.
Thanks. Guys, it was a nice stream. What am I drinking?
Yeah, it was fun.
I was drinking tequila, ice, and like a little LaCroix. I think it's like tangerine flavor. I don't know. Just simple cocktail. This is my second one. Each one had like 2-3 shots in it. So I feel like a little loose, but not really drunk by any means. I'm going to be cooking dinner after this because I live in LA. It's still early-ish here. All right, how'd you do on that? I'm gonna go.
I can't do it, dude.
I'm gonna go just walk through, and you're just gonna follow me, because we still have time to time the key. But yeah, I always pretty much try to drink a little bit on. Like I like to drink a little bit on stream. You know, it's tavern energy anyway, and it kind of just like, you know, I'm writing all them in my own head, like not even talking to a single person, and so kind of helps me loosen up a little, and just feel like myself, not like a wired, like a little bit stressed out, thinking about the future guy. Wait, where? How do I get there? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. I miss going to a bar and having a drink, man. Me too. I miss dancing, and I miss going to a bar and having a drink.
There you go, Todd.
Got him.
Oh, let's go. I miss kissing.
Oh, dude, they engaged King Mechagon.
All right, they can't do it without me. No way.
What?
I could solo it, but they can't do it. It's tyrannical.
I think the guy who's keyed is wants to time it. So
we're gonna time it too. We have 7 minutes.
Yeah, I know, dude. We're fine. Yeah. We're not gonna +2 it though, probably, are we?
What? So we gotta wait to go through here?
Yeah, we're in combat.
We're in combat, so we can't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the number one things I miss is this. We're about to be getting to the big boss Jackal, and then we're gonna probably call it for the night. But yeah, I think the things I miss most. It sounds so douchey to say it, but I think I miss the gym,
dude,
dating,
what is going on?
And like going to like warehouse parties in LA, like really late at night, and staying up all night, talking about who God knows what. Incurzio, who's in the chat right now, and I have had our fair share of late nights, and I miss that.
Fair share of good times.
Good times, yeah, man. And
yeah, but next time I'm in LA, we're hanging.
100%, brother, 100%. And also hit me up in game, man. Whenever I'm online, I need to make sure.
If there ever are warehouse parties again, if that ever happens.
Yeah, Nick and I are gonna throw them.
Yeah, we're talking about throwing our own.
That'll be a bit down the road.
Yeah, we still have. I mean, I don't think until the new year, any of us are going to a warehouse party, and I mourn that. I miss that. You know, I miss that. I need to plan a good Lord of the Rings Extended Edition marathon now. I'm inspired. So Jay Beanie, I actually did a Extended Edition Lord of the Rings series in LA just a few months ago before quarantine. We watched every Sunday. We did a different one for 3 Sundays in a row, and I would give like a 20-minute speech about Tolkien and what to look for in the things before each one. And we had over 10 people. It was at Brandon Zeiden's house. His parents have like this dope ass crib and we had like 10 people for every single one. It was awesome.
I feel like you watch the extended versions though, and you're like, I know why they cut these scenes.
I could not disagree with you more. Literally, could not disagree with you more.
Really?
Every single thing in the extended edition is all about the hobbits and their different interactions.
Oh, I love it though. I love watching it, but I'm like,
I get why for other people they would do it because
there's so many good extended scenes.
The extended scenes are so good. Think about the intro. You missed the whole concerning hobbits bit. They don't have that. They just go right into Frodo.
The mouth of Sauron, dude.
Yeah. Like, you need that.
The thing is, I'm going to agree with you guys. I always watch the extended versions, no matter what, because I prefer them. I'm just saying, like, I always, just because I've worked as an editor a lot, I'm like, I see
why they cut it for the mass population, but the extended editions are so good. I want every single thing about it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm there with you, man.
Yeah, it's so good. Those movies are so good. I'm hugely passionate about it. Yeah, so Ethan, I just released a new YouTube video as well about my favorite Lord of the Rings fonts. It's my second ever YouTube video. It's just about epic Lord of the Rings fonts and the stories they tell. So you should peek that one of these days whenever...
Peek right after this, bud.
No rush, dude. I'm also going to be on stream tomorrow. You can find it on my page and everything like that easier. But, yeah, it was a super fun video to make. Just like nerding out about something. It has like 80 views because I got like all this copyright strike, so it was only like people who viewed it from my Facebook or Instagram. Like they didn't recommend it to anyone because you can see where it comes from, where your views come from, you know. Because I got copyrighted, but I had the blast making it, and I don't regret it at all. It's a fucking awesome video to make. I really liked it, making it, and I think you'll like it. Super niche, weird video, but.
Well, that's what I'm all about, man. Because I'm that way, but I don't know. I don't know what my niche is. Foreign movies, maybe?
Yeah. I think, just because you don't make something doesn't mean that it's not what you're into, you know? I mean, watching weird old foreign movies is... I mean, I've only seen a handful of foreign movies, and I like film a lot. I mean, obviously, there's like the goats, like Amelie and shit like that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And Curzio, you fucking, you're European. What do you think of Amelie? I love that movie so goddamn much.
I love it, man.
Dude, I actually haven't seen it in a long time, so I honestly don't know that much about it.
Says,
you guys like Amelie, if you like that style, you should watch Delicatessen, man.
Okay, I'm down.
Same guy.
Oh, really?
Same guy who did Amelie.
Is it good?
I love it. It's really weird. And
I mean, Amelie's a little weird, too. Stimulus TV says, here's our buddy EI Werner's font video for you fantasy fans. Oh, thank you. Thank you for linking that. That's kind of you. All right, guys, that's the end of the key. So first, I want to say thank you to the group. Thank you guys for swinging by and hanging out with Stimulus. It's all for charity. Your DPS, your healing, everything. All that was for the good and welfare of our great nation. For those of you in the chat, thanks for swinging by as well. Stimulus TV is an amazing place, and I hope you continue to hang out. I'll be doing this on Monday nights. I also stream tomorrow and on Fridays, twitch.tv/theoutsidein or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch all you guys later. I bid you Godspeed and good fortune on all your adventures. Cheers, guys.